It's very un-Lasallian. It goes against our values. For me, that has to end. It was the statement of Santugon sa tawag ng panahon when they made an announcement that they will not field candidates for the upcoming elections. I thought that was a interesting move on their part because they seem to be saying that they wanted to do some self-reflection. And that for me is important, and I hope that other existing political parties or alliances should also do some self-reflection on their part. Santugon and Tapat in particular were formed after the EDSA revolution because of certain ideals, because of the signs of the times at that particular period of our history. And so I think it's important that now that we're in a Marcos administration and we've seen the many bad practices in traditional politics, I think it's high time that our Lasallian political parties should start looking into their history, the reasons why they were started, and perhaps to become more relevant and more Lasallian in today's context. I think the most glaring part is the mudslinging, spreading rumors, and by word of mouth, everybody just talks about it, and it tarnishes the reputation of either one candidate or the whole party itself. I think it's important that our candidates win because of their merit, because of their character, because of their accomplishments, not because the reputation of the opponent is damaged. It's very un-Lasallian. It goes against our values. So for me, that has to end. If there is a real allegation, then go through the process, go through due process, file a case, file a grievance, but don't throw it out in social media and let someone rant about the guilt of so-and-so candidate and to leak something. I mean, that's very traditional politics. I think that doesn't have any place in our university. When they had the elections in 1986 for the USG, it wasn't called USG back then, but I think the president was from Tapat, and after his term, his advice to the newly elected officers were, forget partisanship afterwards, to let go of, to say goodbye to party politics and unite as one USG. And for a long time, I think these two parties have been at odds at each other, to the point that once elections is over, each winning candidate would have their own projects separately. What I want to see, regardless of whichever party they belong to, even if they ran as independent candidates outside their party, I hope that they'll be able to come together, unified, and work together as one USG. To clarify their values, what are the values and virtues that guide them and should guide them, not just during recruiting members, not just in training their candidates and fielding their candidates. These values and virtues should guide them even in the when they're elected. From the name of the two parties itself, they talk about unity, isang tugon, alyansa. Why can't that unity happen after elections? What kind of leadership do they want to set as an example to all the Lasallians? They need to ask those important questions. And then from there, perhaps maybe to rebrand themselves and maybe even to scrap the old names. We've been dominated by the two parties for far too long, and I've been monitoring this for the last 2 decades, the issues have been always the same.